When you have to look at Yashasvi Jaiswal, he's already one of the standout breakout players that is there in the world of cricket. Made a century on debut overseas, then starred with over 700 runs in the series against England. But now, there is a bit of caution about Yashasvi Jaiswal. He may have done well in India, but wait and watch. How will he do well in Australia? How will he do well in England? How will he do well in South Africa? Well, in South Africa, he encountered tough conditions. He came out okay. But the next big test for India is the 5-test series against Australia. Now, the similar kind of question about Yashasvi Jaiswal, whether he will get success in the Sena countries, was posed to Ravichandran Ashwin, who had attended a podcast, and Michael Vaughan, Adam Gilchrist were all there. Normally, that podcast deals with parody, sarcasm and all those kind of things. But in this case, it was a direct question posed. There were in that sense, but some instances of Yashasvi Jaiswal were dead serious. Now, what did Ashwin say when asked the question? Michael Vaughan had asked the question that, how will you judge Yashasvi Jaiswal? Does he have the tools to succeed in Australia, New Zealand, England and all those cases? Ashwin, rather surprisingly, had a very curt and terse comment that he shut Michael Vaughan up. Basically, he stated, part of the narrative I genuinely laugh at. Lot of experts say, oh, let's see, let's wait how they do in Australia, South Africa and England. Basically, Ashwin is criticizing this particular mindset that, oh, why should a youngster be judged on how he does well overseas? If he does well in a couple of series at home, why can't he be called a good player? But this is where I have a problem with Ashwin's mentality in this sense. Doesn't Australia's greatness hinge on the fact that how many players have done well in India? If they don't do well in India, if they don't do well in England, but they do well in West Indies or South Africa or Sri Lanka or New Zealand, will they be called a great player? This is the same criticism that is impacting a David Warner. A David Warner on his own is a legendary player, but look at his record in India and England. It is terrible. Now, Ashwin has criticized the mindset of the experts that, oh, why do you have to adopt this wait and approach? It is actually not fair that Ashwin has done this. Sure, he may have wanted to criticize Michael Vaughan for the way how he posed the question, but that question that Michael Vaughan posed was legitimate, and that is why Ashwin, adding on to that, he said, I find that ridiculously funny, because unless and until you want somebody to fail, you wouldn't say something like this. You are looking forward to somebody failing. This is total misinterpretation by Ravichandran Ashwin. Experts have to look at the total holistic picture. For far too long, they have been myopic about this entire thing. Why did Ashwin have to say this kind of a thing, which is very surprising, because most of the time he is free to speak his mind. He sometimes comes up with rather unpopular opinions. But in this case, criticizing the experts, why can't you have a holistic picture? Is it because certain players don't have good records overseas and they are homegrown bullies in that sense? That mentality needs to change. Experts are also doing a thankless job, because whatever they do, they will be subjected to brutal criticism. You have to respect them for that. And brushing this aside, you're looking as if you're looking forward to somebody failing. It is so wrong on so many different counts. How can we say that we are wanting that person to fail? No. Criticism comes with a balance. The balance is overseas, home. How well do you do that? That is the key. And what if Yashasvi Jaiswal fails? What if? For that, Ashwin had a very philosophical opinion about it. He said, life is all about experiencing new things. It is going to be challenging. Somebody like Yashasvi is a naturally gifted ball striker. He's somebody that whatever he's touched has turned to gold. Agreed. 171 in West Indies, 700 plus in home. His start is just like how a Michael Clark started. Now, Clark achieved success everywhere he went. Yashasvi, we hope that in the assignments that come in 2024, he achieves success everywhere. But remember, there is a cautionary tale about Shubman Gill. Gill in 2023 in the first half was as if he's touched everything to gold, but then later on that gold turned into steel. Nothing worked for him. Yashasvi's had a great start, but in the era of IPL, in the era of players being so familiar with each other, the chances of a consistent run are very, very slim. That is why a Virat Kohli, that is why a Rohit Sharma are so special. They defy the norms, they defy the very, very mold of batsmanship. And that's why. Will Yashasvi Jaiswal succeed in Australia? He has the tools, he can do it. But just because experts, the narrative that they feel that, oh, they are looking at something to fail, you are looking forward to somebody failing, that itself is problematic. Ashwin's one statement here has become very problematic. Experts have to be given their due, they have to be given their worth. They criticize, but they're doing a thankless job. They praise, they're doing a thankless job. 5 things can be easily criticized: politicians, police, cricket experts, cricket journalists, whoever it is, they get the maximum criticism. And that's why you have to ensure that these kind of statements are called out for, because cricket experting is not easy. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this video. We'll be back with more updates on Sports Today. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live. Bye-bye.